Okay. So, hey, hi guys. Hello and welcome to my lecture 17. And guys, today I'm going to do the chef lab, which was due, and we are going to do a quick hands-on lab about whatever we discussed onto our last lecture. So I'm not going to do each and every uh, thing that we talked about, but in order to make you guys understand the very basic concepts. So this is a particular lab in which we will be simply creating our cookbook, and after creating our cookbook we will be simply generating some sort of recipes onto our cookbook, right? And how to do that? For that there are three steps involved over here. Let me give you a brief introduction what I'm going to do onto this particular lecture. So very first thing would be, like, I would be going ahead and creating an EC2 instance from fresh in front of you guys, so that you guys are able to understand how to create an EC2 instance and how to configure it. So first step would be, I would be updating it, then I would be downloading a workstation. As I told you guys earlier, the concept of workstation, I'll go through that as well, but just bear with me, and let's go through this particular set of instructions, right, that I have jotted it down over here. So first we will be downloading this particular file by using wget, and then we are going to install it. After that we would be creating a directory named as cookbooks. We will be installing the tree. Why, I'll tell you later on. So this would be your the very first step, just creation of EC2 instance, and that's it, and downloading. This won't take much time. The second step, we would be generating our cookbook, and after that cookbook is generated, we would simply go inside that cookbook. We will generate a recipe, and we would write over here we are going to write some particular piece of code in Ruby, and then we will get back to that and we will execute it, and we will see what would be the output of this particular command, right? So the whole essence of this lecture is that we are going to simply create a cookbook, and we are simply going to create a recipe, and that's it. And please do not think over the entire structure that I explained it earlier. So I'll give you guys a quick brief whatever we discussed in the last lecture. In the last lecture, guys, we discussed about this particular scenario in which there is a workstation involved. There is a chef server, and the chef server is connected to the node. It gets connected with the help of knife, and whatever we write it over here. So chef workstation is the place where we are going to write our code. Let's get back to the theory. I know people tend to forget things. So this lecture basically deals about only these three entities. I'm not going to work on server, node, knife, client, OHI, and supermarket. We are not going to discuss any of this, just these three bulleted points. We are going to get a little bit of hands-on, and that's it. And so I don't think it would be a very big lecture, but I'll try to cut it short. So guys, what is a recipe? Recipe is a place where we are going to write code, and that place I will show you what that place is actually and how it looks like, right? And after writing that recipe, we will write that recipe into our cookbook. Cookbook is nothing, it's just a folder. It will contain all your recipes, and we would be working on workstation. So in workstation we will be going ahead creating a cookbook, and that book we will be creating a particular recipe and we will be executing it. And so this would be the entire flow in which we are going to work, right? So this is our chef lab, three steps involved, and let's quickly go to it and start demoing it so I don't waste your time, guys. uh, Allow me to go ahead, right? Here I am onto my AWS management console. I'll go into instances and I'll simply launch a new instance. Uh, I hope you guys know whatever hands-on you are trying to do. Make sure it is in free tier eligible, and it also gives right now 700 hours something. So make sure the number of hours that you are working onto it. Uh, yeah, 750 hours of micro instances each month, right? Again, going ahead, configuring it, adding storage, adding a tag, adding a tag. Let's say name chef demo machine one. Configure a security group, SG for chef demo. That's it. Adding a rule, open HTTP port, make it anywhere. We can also do my IP or custom or any other thing. I'll let you know when I'll start my next series onto that. What is the essence of all this? So at this time you only need to hard code it, or only just put these two things over here as it is. Review and launch, and simply launch it. I'm using my existing key pair launch instance, and now my Linux machine is up and running as well, right? So it takes 30 seconds, I think. So guys, in the meantime it is getting updated. Let's get back to the architecture, right? So guys, the way I would be going ahead is that, I've taken this particular example, and why I've taken this particular dish, because most of the people are familiar, or would be familiar, right? So there are a number of examples I would have taken, but this meant simple for me. So guys, we would be creating a folder or a directory, which will be named as a cookbook, and onto that particular folder we will be writing multiple recipes. So there are number of ways by which you can create this particular dish, right? Some people tend to have a gravy kind of structure, some do not like, so they may have their own recipe. People living in the north, people living in the south, or different regions. Sorry, I'm getting back to region. So that is the AWS console. Sorry, pardon me. I just got carried away. So there are a number of people who are living in various areas. So they do tend to have their own recipe in order to prepare one single dish, right? So we would be writing recipes and some codes onto it, and we would be executing it. So this is how it would be the simple structure. And I hope my instance is up and running. Allow me to refresh it, although it is working, but yeah. So now I am going back to Putty, copy paste, SSH, click on auth, browse where your PPK file is, open it, click on open, accept, that's it. And I would like to prefer to change the appearance, make it 11, console looks fine to me. Login as EC2 hyphen user. So guys, my Linux machine is up and running and I am already logged in into it. So let's start with the demo, and here it starts. We have already installed our EC2 instance. Next step is like you need to update your machine. I told you why updation is required in my previous lecture. So here we have simply updated uh, our machine, and once it get updated, we are going to download the chef workstation file onto this particular EC2 machine or Linux machine or your virtual machine or whatever you may go ahead and call it. So updation part of the machine has already been completed, and now I would be copying this particular URL and we'll be downloading it. So wget is the command with the help of which you can download something. Wget followed by your URL. I have pressed enter and I think it got downloaded, right? So here you can see that this chef workstation got downloaded onto my, I think it's my, yeah, EC2 user directory. And now we need to install it as well, right? So in order to install something, you need to write this command and followed by a file, install it. It's very easy to install all these packages. So guys, once this particular thing gets installed, again back to our diagram. So this is only one cookbook, right? So one book will contain multiple recipes of that particular dish itself. Let's say there would be another cookbook for any other dish, like let's say cookbook for dish 2, and that second dish would be containing its n number of recipes as well. So for in order to collate all these cookbooks, we need to make a particular an outer kind of directory which is required, otherwise things won't be working, right? So just in order to understand and make you guys uh, feel better about it. Do not get confused. Just make simply a directory. At the end of the lecture, I hope you would guys would be able to understand. So make the directory with the name of cookbook, cookbooks, BOOKS. It is a plural. It is not one book. This directory will containing multiple cookbooks. Like you have your own library, a shelf, and that shelf contains multiple books like physics, chemistry, biology, and each of your cookbook, like your physics book, would be containing number of pages which are known as recipes, and on those pages you are going to write something that would be your code in Ruby. Okay, so this is how it's gonna work, the structure. I hope I have covered the step one. Yeah, and you need to install this one more thing. I'll tell you why I'm installing it, because it will give you a tree like structure. So guys, I configured my EC2 instance. I downloaded this particular URL, and I created an outer directory or a shelf kind of thing in which we are going to create multiple cookbooks. Okay, so just let me check. Yes, it got installed. In order to check whether it got installed, you can use the command chef hyphen hyphen version. So it says that your chef workstation has already been installed, and it would be into this XYZ kind of format. So 20.7.96, right? I'm doing Control LS, and now we are going to shelf to create a book, and in that book we are going to write something simple. I hope I am making some sense over here, right? So in order to create your cookbook or create your physics book or your chemistry book, this is the command: chef generate cookbook and the name of the cookbook. Very simple. Chef generate cookbook and the name of your cookbook. Let's say I want to create a book for mutton curry. Just example, right? So cookbook for mutton curry. I know I am taking a very weird kind of example. Ideally, I should have taken Ubuntu or Linux or that kind of technical stuff. But this lecture is not about to make this a very technical sort of lecture. The whole main aim of this lecture is that so that you guys are able to understand what I am trying to convey to you guys, right? Because I really got confused when I was going through one of the topics, and they generated a cookbook, and it was quite a technical one. So I don't want anyone to get confused. This is why I'm using this weird kind of stuff. So don't feel anything bad. So guys, I am generating a cookbook. I have pressed entered. You need to accept, and yeah, your cookbook is ready, right? So this is your shelf, cookbooks. Into this particular shelf, there is a book named as Cookbook for Mutton Curry. And now we are going to create some recipes. So in order to create a recipe, so this is just a tricky point. Only for this particular line for generating your recipe. The recipe may be the page, let's say. So only for generating that particular page for your book, you need to go inside your book, and that's it. So try to understand it that particular fashion. Navigate to your book. I am inside my cookbook for mutton curry. Do ls, right? And now I'm going to generate some sort of a recipe. So the command is the same: chef generate and recipe name. So chef generate recipe, and my recipe is for recipe one for mutton curry. So guys, here a number of things have happened. A new file got created like this into there are a number of things that are being displayed over here. So in order to understand them better, this is the tree command that you can run, and this is the reason why I installed and configured it. So this will simply give you that into this particular book, cookbook for mutton curry, there is a recipe named as recipe one for mutton curry, right? So once you create that page, or once you create your recipe, simply get out of this folder, get back to your cookbooks folder, right? And now in order to write something onto that page, or in order to write your recipe, write it from here itself. I know it may be a little bit of confusing, but it will make some sense later on. So in order to write, we would be using the vi uh, editor. So vi followed by name of your cookbook. My cookbook was cookbook for mutton curry. There is a folder inside it named as recipes, recipes, followed by my recipe one dot rb. So it's recipe one for mutton curry dot rb, right? Hit enter. So guys, here the vi editor has opened. Press insert, and now we are good to go, and now we can write our code. So this is some pieces of code that I have already noted down, and I'll just copy it over here. So what we are going to do over here, we are just going to install Apache, right? And once this installation has been done, it will create a file onto this particular location, and it will write something, and it will action would be to create the file, and the content would be this and end. And after that, once your Apache installed, this part has been done, it will simply enable your Apache server so that your system becomes a web server kind of thing, right? I hope you guys are able to understand. If not, I'll deep dive later on. This is the code written in Ruby. In EC2, we just write yum install Apache 2 hyphen y, that kind of stuff. So this is the different language. So I have copied. I hope I have copied. I've just written some pieces of code over here, and this code is going to do something right onto my workstation. I've written it. Press escape colon WQ. Hit enter. You are good to go, right? So till now we created our instance, we updated it, we downloaded the file, we installed it, we made an outer directory, we created a shelf kind of structure. Inside that shelf we created our book, and we went into that particular book, we generated a recipe, we went back onto our main outer folder, and we wrote some pieces of code like how to prepare recipe, how to prepare your mutton curry dish. So this is the way one. Let's say this was about how to prepare mutton curry. Just try to uh, understand in that particular fashion, right? So my step 2 has been nearly done. Now back to my step 3. It's very easy. I'm going to write this particular command. So you just need to write chef execute ruby hyphen c your cookbook. I mean this entire thing. Just copy it, paste it over here. So what this piece of code has done, it has just executed this particular piece of code in order to verify whether my syntax was okay or not. I would show you later on, if this end was in capital E, right? Um, just imagine, and I would have done the same thing, and I would have run this particular command, it would have failed simply. It would show that there is some syntax error. So again, you need to go back over here. You may need to make sure that it is in small, and then copy into this particular file, and then execute it. Only then it will work, right? So this basically checks your code whether all syntax is okay or not. The code is written in Ruby. You are checking, this is the location, it is going here and then here, and it checked that whatever you wrote, whatever was your recipe or your set of instructions or your code for some machines are okay and fine. So syntax is okay as of now, and you just need to execute this particular command. That's it. So chef hyphen client hyphen zr basically means we are working onto our local machine. We want to execute this piece of code onto our local machine. So z represents that particular thing, right? And this is the way to execute. First you write a recipe, then square bracket, then this left side you write your book name. My book name was cookbook for mutton curry. Should I? No, actually I'm very bad at copying it. So I copied it, and then you need to copy your page or your recipe. You can just think it onto that. Sorry, I already told I'm very bad at copying. Yeah. So I've copied it over here. So into this particular line of code, we are manually calling chef client. As I told you guys earlier, please don't get confused. I told that chef client would be, first asking locally onto its node machines, or its machine, and the code is not there, it will go to the chef server. So I'm not doing this. We are manually calling the chef client at this point of time so as to execute this piece of code. So don't get confused, don't get onto the right side of the section, just stay focused onto the chef workstation and whatever I told you guys. Just concentrate on workstation, cookbook, and recipe. So we have already created cookbook, we already created our recipe, and now we are going to execute our code onto our workstation. That's it. So this was all that was required from this lecture, right? I think there is some error. Give me. Okay guys, so what the hell I was doing. I was mentioning the wrong name over here. It was not just cookbook for mutton, it was curry as well, so I need to add that particular stuff. I told you guys I'm really very bad at copying stuff. Again, so guys, pardon for that particular stuff. I was again copying uh, something incorrectly. So guys, this is again I just typed it manually everything, and over here as you can see chef client hyphen zr onto this particular quotation marks. You need to write the name of your cookbook and then the name of your recipe excluding .rb, right? And then this command ran successfully. So this was all about this particular lecture. So we wrote a piece of code into allow me to show you. Welcome to my lecture. Hope it helps, that kind of stuff. So that got written over here, and after that it enabled my httpd, and after that my service got installed. So we configured our system just by piece of writing code onto a web server, right? So it was very very easy. So just these three pieces of code did a lot of work. So in order to see whether it worked or not, go to your EC2 instance, copy this IP, hit enter, that's it, right? So we created a particular recipe with the help of which we made our EC2 instance a web server. So this is the power of Chef. I hope now you guys would be able to understand where we are going, right? I told you guys we would write something, we would paste it over here, and Chef client would come and install it on the nodes one by one. So in this way, again, I am reiterating the previous concept. In the future it may happen how the lecture goes, but just try to understand at this point of time whatever I'm saying, that in future your chef client would come and see that something got updated and install it. So in this way, in order to go ahead and manually update each and every system, this process was quite cumbersome, but with the help of this chef, now it looks easy. I hope you guys would be getting onto track what where I'm going to take you guys. It will simply help you, to it will automate something like it automated right now in front of you guys. It automated this particular code, and it made your EC2 instance a particular a web server, right? So into this particular way, your works gets easier. You do not need to go every machine, first install HTTP, then install Apache server, then create a file manually. It did within a couple of minutes, or sorry, not minutes, in seconds it did. So we would be writing code and we would be deploying it, xyz we would be doing, it will happen automatically. So my initial previous lecture I already told you guys this, that was a problem earlier, so hope it gets solved. So at this point of time understand only this much. When the lecture proceeds ahead with some theory and labs, it will get even more clear to you guys. So guys, I hope this lecture might have helped you to gain some sort of understanding. So thank you for joining my lecture. Thanks a lot.